Hi, I'm Stu Blainer.
And I'm Merle Blainer. And this is the Blainer Brothers Relaxation Quarter Hour.
And today, we're going to take you on a relaxation mission to the moon. Merle, let me ask you something.
Yes, Stu.
Have you ever been to the moon? Personally, I mean?
As in my physical body in the moon, or my mental body in the moon?
Either one.
Mental, yes. Body, someday.
That's funny, Merle. For me, it's the opposite. Picture yourself on the moon. Earth's moon. Wave down at Earth. Say hello to it. Say, "Hello, Earth. How are you doing? All the way down there? I am all the way up here. On your moon. I want you to prepare to get on your jetpack now. So, I want you to think back to your first day of training at Moon Jetpack Academy. They taught you to put on your helmet. So, that's what you should do now. You should put on your helmet. No, not that one. The one with the face protector. Jetpacking is dangerous business, especially on the moon, where the gravity is a lot less than the gravity on Earth. So now that you've put your helmet on, you need to put on your other protective gear. Yeah, that means the gloves. If you don't wear your gloves, you could get some scrapes on your hands at even a small crash landing. And I think we both know that if you crash land on the moon, it's going to be at least a medium-sized crash landing. Because, let's face it, jetpacking on the moon gets you pretty excited, and you tend to put a lot of force into those thrusters. So, now that your gloves are on, I want you to make sure they're secured nice and tight. You don't want your gloves to get loose and unraveled while you're trying to fly through Moon's lack of an atmosphere. Good. Those gloves are a lot tighter now, and you're much more protected from any sorts of moon dust or moon rocks that might crash into your hands, or you crash into them. Now, I want you to picture that favorite pair of boots, the kind that you received as a gift when you graduated from Jetpack Academy. You know the pair. The brown ones. Jetpacking on the moon isn't about fashion. But really, is there anything that's not about fashion? Ever since you were a child, you've really been fascinated by clothing and the different styles that different people have. And just because you're up here all alone on the moon with not a single human being for thousands of miles back on Earth doesn't mean that you shouldn't look good. So put on those brown boots. Now that your boots are on, it's time to strap your protective overalls on. It may seem strange to put on your gloves and boots before your protective overalls, but as you learned in Jetpack Academy, you do things differently on the moon. The overalls fit over your gloves and your boots in order to protect them as they protect you. But what protects the overalls, you may ask? Only your jetpacking skills. If your jetpacking skills prove inadequate, your overalls may pay the price. But I want you to put those worries aside. You didn't come to the moon to worry. You came here to fly in your jetpack.
Now that you are dressed, you are ready to take the flight into relaxation. Now get your jetpack ready for liftoff. Do you remember the first course you took at Jetpack Academy? No, not art history. No, not science, but takeoff arts. You're going to hit the thruster under your left thumb. If you are a righty, that's okay. When the thrusters are engaged, prepare for takeoff. You start hovering over the moon, first at 1 meter, then 2 meters, then 2.5 meters, then back to 2 meters, then back to the face of the moon. Do you want to know why? You did not engage the safety switch. The inventor of the jetpack, Jonas D. Markers, made sure that safety is the number one rule in jetpacking. Now that you properly engage the thrusters and engage the safety switch, you are ready for takeoff. You press down on the thruster button, again under your left thumb, and you start to rise. Rise above the crusty, soily moon. As you start to hover, look down. What do you see? Yes, you see the brown boots, your favorite boots. But you see the moon get smaller and smaller and smaller. You see the man in the moon. He says hello. He's not actually saying hello because you are alone. Not in life. Maybe you are in life, and that is why you're listening to this. But in this scenario, you are alone. You are solo, and you are flying free.
That was a wonderful flight, but now it's time to go back down to the moon. Because every journey has its ending. And what would a journey be without an ending? It would just be a beginning and a middle. And you can't have a beginning, middle, and end without the end. Nor can you have it without the beginning or the middle. All three parts of the beginning, the middle, and the end are required in order to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. So now that you're at the end of this journey, I want you to go back down to the moon. Disengage the thrusters, but gently, not all at once. Good. You're going down at an alarming rate, so everything's going according to plan. You came up to the moon to commit moon suicide. Your life back on Earth hasn't been very good. Sure, you were at the top of your class at the Jetpack Academy. But what good is that if you can't hold a job, maintain a healthy relationship, care for a pet, write a check, drive a car, drink a glass of water, Wait in a line. Tie your shoes. Wash your hands after going to the bathroom. Maintain eye contact with another human being, animal, or robot janitor at Jetpack Academy.
Sure, life may be tough. The grocery industry is very tough to break into. I understand. Sarah, the cashier, was mighty cute. But when you can't drink a glass of water, it may be hard to function correctly. We know that you can strap on moon boots for your jetpack. It's simple. It's Velcro. Laces can be daunting. But the laces of life are far more complex than those of the unworn Skechers in the corner of your lonely basement apartment that you rent from your aunt. An aunt from marriage, not a blood relative. You seemingly may be alone in this world and alone in life. That is a fact. You may think you're worthless. No comment from me. You may feel like even the moon dust beneath your toes has more value than you. That is true. Moon dust can be very, very expensive. Very expensive.
So as you plummet to your inevitable demise via crash landing on the moon's surface, and you think about all these dark moments from your past, I want you to take one last look at Earth and think, maybe I'll give it another shot, and pull your parachute. But that was your tragic mistake, because the moon has no atmosphere, and a parachute will not work on the moon. So in your last moments, before your death via jetpack moon crash landing, you think to yourself, I wish the moon had an atmosphere. And don't we all?
That was nice, Stu.
Yeah, it was, Merle. It really gave you a lot to think about. Say, Merle.
Yes, Stu?
Do you ever think about what if the moon wasn't in space? Like, what if it was down here on Earth with us? I think that would be a really good thing, because then everybody on Earth would have a friend in the moon, and it wouldn't be like a long-distance pen-pal relationship like it is now, because the moon would be right here with us.
Yes, that's true. It could come to dinner with us, sit at the family table for supper, with you, Stu, me, Merle, Weathers, Craig, Francis, and Francine Blainer.
And mother and father, of course.
That was implied, Stu.
You're right, I'm sorry.
Thank you for using your valuable time, for enriching your life with the Blainer Brothers Relaxation Quarter Hour. Until next time, goodbye.